Alright, in lesson 7 we learned a lot about creating sprites. We're going to look at some of the basics as well as looking at a few codes or programs that have some bugs that we need to fix. We're not going to look at all of Bubble 10 today, all of the practice days, just A through D. We're going to go ahead and start with the first one, part A, where are the sprites? And this is really a common problem that we start with when we're creating these sprites. I've run into this problem as well when I started using code.org. So right here we have the code and we have the sprites, and when we run the problem nothing's showing up. Well, let's take a look. Okay, sprite 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We have those different positions. We have an animation for each one. One is going to be the red plane, blue plane, green plane, yellow plane, and a bunny. Okay, well, why isn't that working? And the reason it's not is because we actually never told it to draw the sprites. We told it where the sprites are and the name of the sprites. We've set the animations for the sprites, but we never drew out the sprite. So, adding the code, draw sprites. I'm going to run it and it looks like it works now. For part B, let's take a look at it. So errors are being hit whenever we try to run our program. It looks like something is wrong with our animations. Can you try and fix it? So this is another common mistake. So when we take a look at the code, what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply hit run. I like to do that first just to see what we're working with. Okay, it gives us an error. In line 7, unable to find the animation Tyrannosaurus. Okay, we can double check the animations and take a look at the name here, and I notice I might have misspelled the name. So easiest way to do this is simply click the drop down menu. I'll have the options there and just click on it there. And then we notice that, okay, we're running into another problem now in line 9. Unable to find animation named sun. Same thing, let's take a look. We have the sun here, S-U-N. We have the sun here, S-U-N. Some of you guys might have already noticed this, but easiest way is to click on the drop down menu like I said, and we're going to notice that, hey, we actually capitalized the S, and that's where the problem went wrong. Okay, run it, and running into one other problem, sprite 5. Can't figure out which grass 2 is. Same thing, let's go back. Grass 2 looks okay. So let's go ahead and click here. Click on grass 2 here. And I don't know if you guys noticed it, but simply the quotes were actually not set up. Okay, same thing with the last one. We're gonna go ahead and check grass 3. Why doesn't that work? Take a look at it. We're gonna notice we actually don't have a grass 3. We can rename it here, grass 3. We could have, of course, changed the code as well, but since we have 1, 2, and 3, I think it's good practice to go in order. Go back here. Let's hit run, and it now works. So let's take a look at C, the sprite names. So we're gonna, I guess the directions are on the other page. We're gonna fix the sprite name so it works. The program below is trying to draw the same sprites in 3 different positions. Only one of them is showing up. What's happening here and how can you fix it? So if I hit run, I notice that it creates 1 cherry. Okay, that's what we're saying the sprite animations to. And then it has 2 sprites that aren't showing up. Let's take a look at our code. Okay, the first sprite, we called it sprite. We created at 300, 200, which is right here. 300, 200. Sorry, 300. Yeah, 300, 200. Okay. Okay, well, why isn't this working? Okay, why is it just a gray, I guess, blank? Well, we set the sprite animation a cherry. Why is this not a cherry? Well, let's take a look at the next codes. Okay, the next sprite is at 200, 275, which is right here, this one. Same thing. And then the last sprite is at 100, 200, which is this cherry. And it looks like for some reason this last one works. Okay, well, I'm taking a look at this now, and I noticed that the first sprite is called sprite, the second one is called sprite, and the third one is called sprite. If we want 3 different cherries, we have to do a couple different things. We have to draw a sprite after each sprite is described or defined, or we have to actually, if we're going to draw all at one time, we actually have to label this sprite 1, sprite 2, sprite 3. Oops, sprite 3. And once we do that, that should work. The final one, it looks like we're going to change the order so we can see the ladybug and the snail. So something's wrong, some of the sprites can't be seen, so we have to make it the snail and the ladybug in front of the grass. Right now we notice it's kind of hidden behind the grass. I think we're pretty good at this right now. We probably know that this is a matter of the order that the code is in. So let's see the snail, ladybug, cactus, grass 1, grass 2. We set all those animations. So what do we need to do from here? Well, if we think back to bubble 8, sprites are created in the order they're created. So it looks like we're doing the snail, ladybug, cactus, grass 1, grass 2, and we're setting animation, cactus, grass 1, grass 2, etc. So, well, let's see what happens if we put the 3 plants first and then the animals after. Okay, so once we do that, it looks like it does work. Okay, so what happens that the variables, the snails and ladybugs, were created first. We want the plants to go first so that they print or draw the cactus, grass, grass. And then after that, they'll draw the ladybug and the snail, or the snail and then the ladybug. So that's what we're going to do for the last bubble.